Everything moves. All right. There we go. A little less dark. Still got about a minute to go. How's everybody doing? Glad to see you. Back for another Tuesday. If you are new here today, let me know. New. Make sure you let me know. Loved and welcome the new people. So if you're new, hey, Kimberly. The boss has got the flu or something. Doesn't feel very well, but she's still here. She's a trooper. Speaking of Kimberly, she gave me a cat for Christmas. If that's about how far I got it together so far. And yeah, that's about the size of a keyboard. So there's my keyboard, and there's the D11 bulldozer thing so far. So coming along, it's pretty big. All righty. 5 o'clock. Everybody ready? All right, still quite a few people streaming in here right at the end. Right before we get started, welcome everybody. If you're new here, hadn't been to one of these before, let me know. Now's the time to let me know. I want to welcome everybody. Yeah. So anybody, everybody just returning. Awesome. All right. Well, if you are new, let me know. Oh, Dale's new. Awesome. Glad to have you. Hey, Pete. Brad, brand new. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm Jeffrey. I'm in 2020 during the COVID crash, I became a $7-figure million trader. And in 2021, Rob Booker helped me launch my own product to the world called Echo Trades. Since then, I've introduced some of the other things I do. And these Tuesday free webinars, 30 minutes of awesome, just something we put together just to throw out to the public for free, pay back all the people that have ever helped me get ahead in trading. Hopefully it gets something ahead for you. So I just want to throw it out there, a reminder that the IWM Gap Trade Special ends 2/10/22. So if we look at our watch, that's 2 days. You got 2 days to get that lifetime membership for the low price. That is jeffreytrader.com/IWM alpha. So what is it? Well, we went through it quite in depth last week. So if you got questions, go check out last week's video. Remember, you only got 2 days to get in on it. After that, we're going to go into kind of like a quiet period while we get ready to actually launch the product. So we're going to work on putting together the classes, putting together the information, getting all the stuff finished up, and the price is going to go up. So right now you can get in during the alpha period, which is still the test period before we fully launch it. And that's going to end in 2 days. So, all righty. Next week will probably be a little later than 5 o'clock. I have to travel down to Jacksonville, Florida for a meeting at my headquarters. So I just wanted to give everybody a notice. So watch your email and alerts for the time. We'll throw it out there. All right. Speaking of which, I think I forgot to throw it on Discord. So, all righty. Let's jump over here to the charts and check it out. All right. I'm gonna close that one. I need to close that tab. And didn't even load the charts before I got started. All right. Where are we? Well, we haven't even made significant progress from last week, actually. We're going to start out with the ES. If you're not familiar with ES is the S&P 500 futures. Now, why do I use the futures? Because they trade 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. They start on Sunday night, wrap up on Friday afternoon. They trade before and after the market closes. They only shut down for like, I don't know, maybe an hour a day now. They keep messing with the shutdown time. But the charts don't tend to make any gaps. When you look at this as compared to the actual SPX index, and you get these gaps in here, these overnight gaps and stuff like that, these big gaps over here. I don't like the gaps. So there's missing price information when you get gaps, and the future doesn't tend to leave gaps. There are small ones in here, but for the most part, the gaps are pretty much taken away, and that's why I use the futures. Now, let's jump in here a little closer and see what we got. So this move up right now has been a 3-wave move, and you can't see it clearly on the daily because it just looks like it went pop right up there. Jump down a time frame, pull the price action over. This is what I'm talking about. So we had the low back here on January 24th. We moved up in a 1, 2, 3 kind of move. Popped up, pulled down, popped up again. That was only 3. And then we pulled down, and this was kind of a 3. And then we've popped up again. And there weren't really any, pullbacks in that move right there. And then we've pulled back. And even though it seems like, we've been moving around today, it's been pretty boring for a few days now. It's a tight consolidation range right here. Let's go ahead and turn off the Echo Trade thing so it's out of the way there for a minute. So we hit this orange box up here. That was the 618 zone. It created this support. Well, it's a resistance zone. It created this, it was support on the way down. And then we came up and it found resistance there, couldn't break through. We've pulled back, and we've kind of gone sideways for 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, all the way out to today, the 8th, which has kind of been in this little box right here. Now, because this was all made up of 3-wave structures, what I call 1, 2, basically a move, a counter move, and a move again. Those are 3-wave moves. Those are corrective type moves. Moves that are trend moves tend to be in sets of 5. And then I think my laptop's on this account too. So what that says to me is that we're likely to some way, somehow do a final flush. Now we don't have to make a lower low. See this big tail down here. We could come up short, just right down in this area one more time, and then build a reversal that's made up of 5-wave moves. And that can be constructive for getting those higher prices and those moves out to the higher price targets that I was talking about at the end of 2022. You don't remember? It's going to be like the 5,500 to 6,000 range on S&P 500. Now, big tech's in a little bit different situation. It still has these 3-wave kind of moves. This box has been a little bit different shape here, but it's still kind of drifting down. We've got kind of this trend line going here right now. We could get one final pop up, but I still am expecting this to drop back down in this zone right in here. Thinking we'll probably see a move down in this area within the next couple days or weeks. My bias says I would like to see it just happen a quick flush and then we're off to the races. But I'm not sure that this won't take another couple days or even into next week. Especially the longer it keeps prolonging this crap here. I call it crap because it's just crap price action. And right now we've kind of got this thing going like this. Yeah, kind of a similar situation, but not exactly the same on S&P 500. One kind of like that. I have to remove some of these old lines here. Get rid of some of these old ones. Yeah, kind of like that. We're stuck in here. Could pop up one more time and then drop out. Now, what's it going to take to solidly break out of this funk? Well, we could get some kind of diagonal that comes up. This could be a corrective 1, a corrective 2, a corrective kind of 3, a corrective 4, a corrective 5, and then we get a deeper retrace and then go. So even if we get a higher high, we're still going to come back to this area again. So it's something to be aware of, be cognizant of. We need a flush of some sort. Even if we go higher, we're going to get a flush again before we can get out of here. So that's my expectation right now. And Russell, this thing, you can see it doesn't have that three-wave structure off the bottom so much like NASDAQ and ES. This thing's kind of running on its own. It's the small caps. And it's made up of, they call it the Russell 2000. It's more like 1,800 stocks, but it's a lot of the small cap stocks. And right now you just kind of have this one move up off the bottom, a retrace, and we haven't gone higher and we haven't gone lower. This thing, when you dive way on down in there, it looks kind of corrective. It looks like it needs this final move down right around this say 1900 level, maybe just touch barely lower low to clear this out and make it look real good. Now see, we may get a move up a little further on Russell, because let me clear these off of here, these fibs. So if we had this move up as a 1 and this was the pullback here, now this move up 1 and this move up 3 become an echo of each other, reach parity in that echo thing I was talking about at the beginning, echo trades. If we moved up and found resistance right there around 12,131, this could lead to a move down like this. All right. So that kind of covers the three major indexes. I don't really care for the Dow because it's so manipulated with their factors and stuff. So I don't jump into that usually. Now, oil came right up into the target range, just shy of that 93.59 target. Reached target 1, reached target 2, reached target 3, almost. And actually, it kind of stopped at this prior target fib line from way back over here at 92.38. We just poked through it just barely, and now we've retraced. This thing could be setting up for an echo. It's one to watch. I put it out there to keep an eye on it in echo trades today. So if you take the pullback there, you compare it up here, we could see just a little bit further retrace back to this 87.85, and it could support it even back into a little lower than that. But I pull back into that area and find support and reverse and set up some of our entry confirmation stuff. Then we're going to be looking for the next run out, and just guessing right now, let's just pretend like it reached the thing. We can see a move out to 94, 96, 50, and then possibly getting close to our $100 target out here. So this could take us the next couple of weeks. Check back in next week, see where we're at. For members of Discord, of course, I'll update you as we go. But right now, looking for that pullback to finish up and some sort of confirmation that we're going to go back into trend again and not get a deeper pullback. All right. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. And gold still riding those trend lines that we've been following. It just can't pull away. It's been riding this upper trend line, making it real messy now. So we probably need to pull it down just a hair to connect up those bottoms. Let's pull it over, pull it down just a little bit. Yeah, see that bottom and this bottom connect up. So now that's our more established trend line coming up. And we're just kind of in the middle. Got to get above here and then above here. Same parameters we've had. We're just stuck in all these consolidation areas. And right now, today, it was just coming up to the bottom of this prior consolidation over here we had from 2 weeks ago. Got to bust up through that again, yet again, and try to get out of here. So, of course, a breakdown below this trend line that's happening sets us up to revisit the 1600 area. 1600 prices, probably below 1700. So 1620 is still a price down there that I think is attainable if we break down. All right. Big news, big news. Bitcoin turning bullish on the micro time scales. Finally breaking above this consolidation zone that we had. And it spent all weekend sitting right on top of this orange box. You know, that's where it consolidated back here in January, right in that range. It did a little tighter, and then Monday breakout, pulled back on the 30-minute. We were looking at, let's see, let's turn on the Echo Trades indicator because there was an Echo pullback. It was a market roadmap pullback on a 30-minute. Entry alert here. This thing is set to go. Was an official Echo Trade entry issued just before we got on here. Looking for a move out to 46,300. My fibs aren't exactly right on the, they're snapped on here right now. On the other tool I have 46,300. That's where we're looking for Bitcoin to go. And that's going to happen probably in the next couple of days. Of course, a breakdown below 42,300 sets it up, kind of destroys that setup for now. Ethereum kind of has the same setup going. Very similar. Looking for a move. Of course, it hasn't confirmed above the 618 yet. There is resistance right there that it has to get back through. Bitcoin was consolidating right there. So 3280 area is going to be the upside target in the near term for Ethereum. So something bullish for crypto. Hadn't been like that for a while. So is it too late to get into Bitcoin? No, I mean, it just depends on your size and your trade. Know your parameters. We're looking at 44,000 right now, and I'm looking for a move to 46,000. That's $2,000. I mean, it's a pretty fair move on a $44,000. All right, some other ways to play. Assuming it doesn't move huge before the market opens again tomorrow, you have BITO, and we are looking at an overall bigger bullish pattern, but I expect that move up to 46.3 on Bitcoin before the next kind of pullback, or it could break on up to the second target there. I didn't go through all the different targets because this is not Echo Trades, but I'll just let you know it's out there. So BITO, it's the Bitcoin ETF. It does use futures instead of actual Bitcoin. So be aware that there's slight differences in price action. It is fairly tightly correlated if you overlay the chart with the compare symbol to Bitcoin USD. End of the day, it typically is fairly tightly correlated. So this one could also experience a nice swift move up. And I do have a bigger time frame target on this in the crypto power plays. What do you call it? Service, the advisory service I run for crypto power plays. We did add alerts to that starting last Saturday. So if you want in on that, give my team a call and they'll hook you up. So I have information on the trade for BITO inside crypto power plays. All right, one that my team wanted me to go over. This one right here. I've kind of been looking for a move up off the bottom here on coin. Let's jump up to a daily chart. It was on my other computer, but this one did have a pullback and we met some support levels here. It didn't quite reach the 100% there. Yeah, it's a bigger move. One. Yep. Lots of support right there. And I need to turn on one fib line. Two fib lines. There we go. Yeah, the 786 right here. So we've come down. There's some smaller time frame stuff, but we found a reversal point. We've moved up off the low. Now, if this does what I call a measured bounce setup, we come up here, we retrace, and we set up this next move up. Once we break above this level right here, wherever we get to before we retrace, once we break above that, it can be on like Donkey Kong to get higher prices. All right. Let's zoom it up a little bit. We're gonna find a point right here where we're gonna reverse and pull back down. It may get a little higher, maybe up here before we reverse. This could be up here instead of right in here. But then we get a pullback. That's my measured bounce setup that I teach in the fib class. Once that setup shows up, this thing could explode higher. So just be aware. I am quite bullish on crypto across the board, but we've got to meet all these targets. All these things have to click together. It can decide not to be bullish anymore at any point. So just keep an eye out. Be aware. And Mara is also trying to start something here. The daily EMAs are just crossing here. 5 above the 13. HUT had its cross 2 days back. Looking a little bullish. We still got to get above the roadmap line. Mara is roadmap lines way on up here around 35. We got to get up in this area. Break through there to be even more bullish on Mara. MARA is a Bitcoin miner. For those that don't know, it's one of my favorites. They just released their mining report. 462 Bitcoins mined in January, which was quite bullish in my opinion. And they're on track to, I think, 5 times their current mining rate in the next few months, into the second half of 2022. So 5 times more mining. That sets them up to be mining somewhere on the order of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin a year, potentially. Now, the hash rate, the global hash rate has been increasing, so difficulty's been increasing. So that probably won't, like, that's an optimistic number, $1 billion, but they're on track to kind of do that, all things being equal. And I'm sure they're probably going to dilute their stock just a little more and buy more Bitcoin miners, because they have 199,000 on order. And I can't imagine they're not going to have over 200,000 before on order before too long. All right, Riot is the lesser performing of the crypto mining stocks that I keep up with. It did get a little deeper, and it is working on trying to flip bullish, but it's just not as great a looking chart. Long term, it made a lower low, whereas Hive and, I mean, not Hive, Hut's the one I was looking for. Hut and Mora both held a higher low than they made back here than last summer. So they're bullishly set up, whereas Riot, it's got some work to do before it can flip bullish. All right. Scott says, how do you think various countries going digital currency will impact crypto? It just creates more demand. It's I think we're in the age of demand. It's still the beginning. Even though it feels like crypto's been around for a while, it's still coming around. Now, Hive did make a lower low similar to Riot, and I think that this one could see a move on down here to retest these lows back in sub $1. So that's one you got to watch out for right there. It does have a bigger ABC kind of move set up, where it goes A, the first low, B, that one could have found support here, but it also can push back down here to 78 cents, below $1. So watch that move right there. If it starts pushing down again, it could go right down to here. All righty. So that's kind of the landscape. We went through a lot of different areas so far in the market. One that I like right now, let's pop over and look at one other thing here. This chart to me is quite bullish. This is a market roadmap type setup right here. It's been on the market roadmap list for a few weeks. A move back up through 32. Now, this is a Lithium Americas Corp. You can see the Lithium Americas Corp. It has made a high back here in November and pulled back in a nice 3-wave kind of fashion, found support at this, what I call the roadmap line, which is made up of some EMAs. It's in the market roadmap program and in Echo Trades. Both of them rely on the same EMAs here. And I do talk about it in the Crypto Power Plays also. So I use those combination of EMAs quite a bit through all my stuff. it found support here on this daily chart. Don't even have to look at a different time frame or anything. And today we're showing the 513 cross with that little green arrow, which means the 5 EMA crossed above the 13 EMA. And we got a nice little pop. We are a higher high than this right here and a higher high than this back here. So that's a series of 3 higher highs. Like I said earlier, a move back up 30 through 32 really confirms, because that was this final flush down. A move back up through there sets this up to get to much higher prices. We're looking at 45, 64, 51, or even 61. And you're saying, well, that sounds like it could be kind of crazy, right? Well, look at last time when they did this pullback over here. Made a high, pulled back to the roadmap line, kind of hung out at the roadmap line for a little bit, and took a run out. It got to the 1618 right there. So 1618, 51 could easily be in the cards for this. These things tend to do the same move over and over. That's the whole concept behind echo trades. Is the market tends to do the same things over and over. It's not exactly the same, similar, just like an echo sounds similar, not the exact same. So I'm looking for a move out on lithium Americas, out to this 51. Of course, you got to meet the upside targets. We do have resistance hanging out right here at 35 that we got to clear. And like I said, we'll have resistance here at 32. That would be the early entry kind of. I'm actually got a couple plays on this already, but I'm going to be looking for bigger plays once we get above 32, confirm above 35, and look for this move up to 45 and 51. All right. So I usually take some requests. We got about 5 minutes or so. Let's take a few requests. Who's got something? What you got? Those are plays I got for right now. Anybody? F. I was kind of bearish on F before. I just went through HUT. Where were you? Yeah, F. Still bearish. So a couple weeks back, after it peaked, I mentioned we could see a move back to this orange box where we consolidated all through November. We quickly got there, and then we broke down right back to the roadmap line. Below there, we could see a move back down to this prior consolidation we had underneath this purple arrow that I probably should move off here so we can see it. So we had this little consolidation back in October right here. We can see that. That's where that red arrow comes from right there. So it could move back down into there. Just be cautious. Now we got to see something reverse on here and get some bullish action. Right now, nothing bullish on forward. Still looking for support. All right. I went through oil earlier. All right. See MNDY. That looks pretty bearish. All right. Doesn't have a long enough history to even get a roadmap line, but so things that IPO tend to be bearish. They do what a friend of mine calls the Cowabunga IPO pattern, which is a corrective pattern and usually ends up lower than the IPO. So we had this tail on IPO day or whatever happened, whatever it started trading over there. So I'm looking for a move down through here to finish this out. And one wave, two waves. Yeah, that's a hot mess of stuff right there. Until it finally does a flush out and gets reset, it's hard to trade that one. All right. Let's see NVIDIA. Yeah, so sit on the roadmap line. That was on the roadmap list, I think. Initial thing you need to see is a higher high, a move up through there. It does have some resistance hanging out up here around 303 to 314 area. It's where this prior consolidation was from December, right at the end of the year. we start breaking up through there. Maybe a move up to 320 kind of confirms that we'd be looking for a move out to 370 or 400. All right, ON. That was quite bullish on ON. That was a roadmap entry. I did buy calls on this today. Full disclosure. I bought some calls out to March, I think it was. There's kind of what I'm looking at. This one did make, broke above the high right there. This was on the market roadmap watch list for this week. Breaking through there with the daily close yesterday was the bullish entry. This is kind of a confirmation move up through the 618. Looks like we're headed to 76 to 83 area. And last time this thing did that kind of move, we saw a move pulled back like this. We ran out almost to the 4236. Definitely higher than the 2618. So this thing could get out to 100 on this next move. And it's not just going to be straight up though. It's going to be and probably take out into, I don't know, September, October. Short term, just looking for a move up to 76. All right. Couple more. We'll do a couple more. I see FCX, a few people asking for that. I see more than one. All right. FCX. It came up, found resistance right there. Couldn't break out. Pulled all the way back to the roadmap line. Working on the next attempt to go higher. And found resistance at the prior highs. Some arrows I did from way back when. Yeah, so it bounced off the roadmap line. Couldn't break higher than the prior high. It was an area of resistance I identified from back in May of last year. Couldn't get up through it in January. Pulled all the way back to the roadmap line. It's set up to go one more time here. So we'll see what happens. This is still going to be a significant resistance, as well as we got to get up through this area right here around 42, looks like. And we're consolidated back here at the end of the year. So it's kind of funny. The 618 lines up with that. Got to break up through there. Then break up through here to get out these higher prices. All righty. Okay. Let's see. I'll take one request from YouTube. DSKE. So yeah, I got you. DSKE. Let's see on YouTube. So that one's already on the way out here. Already reached the first target, second target up here at 12. Let's see the prior move that it did. Let's see what we could kind of expect maybe. Yeah, 1618 was about all she got last time before. Yeah, not even hardly. So getting out to 1618, and this thing's gonna be tired and could retrace significantly. So just be on the watch out. Anything you get, hopefully you were long from back down here, not from up here. Anything you get at this point, you can be running out of steam. So, all right, we've already gone longer than 30 minutes here. I see a couple PayPal, so I'll do that real quick. Still quite bearish on PayPal. Been bearish on PayPal. Hit the target zone. If it breaks through the bottom of there, it's going back to 80 area. 80 is where it consolidated back here at the lows of the COVID crash. If it breaks out below this 117-ish area right here, it's probably going to revisit that. So I called that pretty good so far. Then when it broke down, it was going to revisit this box. It hit the box perfectly so far. If it breaks down through the box, it's probably headed back to 80. Just 88 area, 85 area, somewhere right in here. Put a circle out there. Somewhere down here. All right. So reminder, 2 days left on the IWM special. If you want to jump in the alpha, get lifetime for the low price, go visit jeffreytrader.com/IWM alpha. If not, that's cool too. We'll be back with you on the full promo in a couple months, maybe in maybe March. We'll see. So next week, we'll probably run this a little later. I'm going to be traveling down to Jacksonville, Florida for a meetup with a bunch of gurus on Wednesday. So I'll see. As soon as I can get set up and get on, we'll try to make it happen. It may be a little later than our normal 5 o'clock. So just want everybody to know. One more thing before we go, my latest big trade idea. I didn't talk about this tonight. I have an opportunity wave report. We used to call them a profit wave report. We had to rename them due to some legalese, whatever. Anyway, legal team said rename them. So now they're called opportunity wave reports. And we've had tremendous success with some of these calls in the past. Like on UCO, I called for an entry back in July. We saw a $30 a share move to this when we closed it in January. NVIDIA, I called a move in August, and it happened pretty quickly in November. I also called for one on AMD also, and that happened into December. These are special opportunities that I find where all the signs are pointing to a big move, all the technicals. And I usually ignore headlines, but in the opportunity wave reports, I find a special combination of my technical asset and technical analysis, along with a massive fundamental catalyst to create explosive opportunities. So I'd like to share all the details of this next premium report that I put together for just $20. And this latest report, it's a result of a strong technical support, the possible war in Eastern Europe, Eastern Europe, Ukraine and all this stuff, global shortages, and a weird US law that all kind of come together to propel this this potential stock. So in fact, it's already bounced once and just returned to a nice support level and right back at my entry. So do you think it would have been worth $20 for a report that got you a move in a video like this, where it went from 200 up to 340? I think so, but I'll leave the choice up to you. So if you want to jump in on this opportunity wave report, jeffreytrader.com/wave, call 855-454-0816. I'm not going to tell you the ticker. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go visit the page, get the report. It's only $20. They've been pretty banging trades so far. And if you need the IWM link, I saw somebody asking for that. It's jeffreytrader.com/IWM alpha. I'll throw it in the chat here. Right there. Link for presentation. There is no presentation. Opportunity wave report is just a report. It's not like there's not extra stuff to it. This is the first time I made it available to you. IWM alpha, we didn't do a presentation either. So go to YouTube, watch last week's session on Tuesday. IWM alpha, the IWM thing is not a launch product. So you either get in early or yeah, it's on YouTube from last week. It's not a launch product. So let's see. I just had it. Here's the link for it. You got 2 days to get in on it. Oh, I got to go to everyone. There we go. There you go, everyone. All right. If you already have, if you've already bought crash protection or anything, opportunity wave report is not the same thing. So opportunity wave report is a standalone thing. Special report I wrote. takes advantage of a potential nice move in the market. I'm looking for a 200 to 300% return on my position. So the XSP put big move at the end of the day. That was just market manipulation. They just spread the bid and ask so far apart, made it look like a crazy move, but it wasn't. Yeah, bummer. Sorry. Maybe if we get that dropout, I'm looking for in the S&P 500. All right. Opportunity wave report. It's just a stock report. One big trade lasts a good long time. JeffreyTrader.com/wave. The last few I've put out have been pretty spot on. So go check it out. There's a weird little US rule that helps propel this one. Length of trade, I think I'm out a year. Hopefully hit the targets by the summer. All the details are in there. These tend to be longer time frames, 6 to 12 month trades. You can play it stock or options. It's up to you. I put both in the report. All right. Anything else? Glad to have y'all. Remember next week, I may be a little later, maybe 7 o'clock. I don't know for sure. We'll see. I am traveling to Jacksonville, Florida. So I do plan to do this though. So we're going to try to make it happen for everybody. Who am I going to see? We have a guru meetup. I'm going to go see a bunch of gurus. I think there's 20 something gurus in my company. I'm going to meet however many of them are coming to Florida. I have no idea. IWM link doesn't work. Let's see what we get. Let's see if JeffreyTrader.com IWM Alpha worked for me. And Knoxville to Jacksonville. That's right. So http:// you gotta spell my name right. JeffreyTrader.com/IWMALPHA. Right there. Roger lives there and Tom lives there. So I'm guessing they'll be there. I've met them before down there. The boss man is actually Tom's son. I know, I'm pretty sure Rob Booker's supposed to be there. I think Marquet is supposed to be there. So Tom and Roger, other than that, I don't, beats me. We'll see. So opportunity wave report right there. JeffreyTrader.com/wave. Call 855-454-0816. That's not Wealth Press. It's called Financial Media Corporation. And Guru Steven will be there. I mean, my teammate Steve, my team leader Steven will be there. He's the guru of the team. And we actually have it's a big company with sub companies, and I'm actually in one of the sub companies that's not Wealth Press or DTI or whatever. So I'm still learning everything too. Well, it's separate operating companies, so we don't even Alrighty. Well, thanks everybody. I'm gonna wrap it up. Remember, jeffreytrader.com/wave 855-454-0816. It's been a pleasure having you tonight for the regular Tuesday appreciation webinar. 30 minutes, awesome. Actually 45. Have a great day. We'll see y'all later.